Um, I got a lot of gunk in my head, a lot of it, okay? Um, I need to go and wash my hair, but um I really didn't have that much time because I had to go and exercise, get in the shower and get ready to go back to work. And although it's stressful and exhausting, it is what is needed to be done, okay? Excuse me. Today, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's been going on with my life, okay? Um I'm so exhausted. I can't even cry. I can't even be sad. I just have a lot more understanding as to what is happening. More understanding about who I am as an individual, because I think we're all on this planet to learn a little bit more about why we are here and implement whatever change we're supposed to do. Um, and although everyone is not in tune to that, and we're not all um in tune with it at the same time, doesn't mean that we don't have a purpose and a plan here. However, I have come to the realization that there are really people. Oh, I hate that noise. Little. Mm-mm. There are really people who intentionally come out to destroy other people, and they will do it by any means, y'all. You don't have to do anything wrong to people. Okay. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything or that I don't offend people, because I know that I do. Even when I don't try, I do. Okay. That's part of life. Um, but when it's something that I can I'm aware of, I just try to apologize and see what I can do to make the situation better and move forward. Unfortunately, that has not been the case um at this time. And so hi there, hi Chris. Hi to everyone that's tuning in. Because of that, I am being not only spiritually attacked but physically attacked by these people, okay? Um how are you? Good. I've the last couple of months, especially at my job, at home, you know, I have been harassed, followed from work, all kind of crazy stuff just because, their reasoning behind it, literally, what they told people was that I think that I'm better than everyone and I'm always happy go lucky, like the sun is always shining. Not understanding all the stuff that I had to go through in my entire life, I am happy, and I really am truly happy because I know I have another chance at life. I really, really do. And I'm naturally um a happy person, so I'm just naturally a happy person. That's what I'll say. And just to go to this extent, because this person not only did not like me, but they pretended to like me the entire time. Okay? They pretended to like me the entire time. Um, Hold on. They be pretending to like me the whole entire time. And in the background they were sabotaging everything that I was trying to implement at my job, everything that I was trying to do for myself, um, I didn't even know. Hold on, y'all. I don't want to cry too much, y'all. But it was just, it's very, it's hurtful to me, y'all. It's hurtful to me. Y'all, I didn't put no prime on. I just been in a rush, so I'm trying not to super cry. But it's very detrimental to my spirit to be around people who wish ill harm to me and try to go out of their way to do it, you know. And it got to the point where it escalated that I didn't even know. This is the aftermath, because luckily I know God was on my side during this time because I'm sorry. I was still happy. I was still being myself. I saw some attacks from other people, and I noticed that some people had distanced themselves from me, even at work or when I go to the gym or when I'm volunteering. I'm doing my work like for my not for profit and stuff. And I saw that, but I just kept going. I was just like, okay, maybe some things you don't want to take it personal because you don't know what people are going through. But um, coming to find out, it was this whole person the entire time. This person the entire time. They sat around me, came around my family, you know, um, around my nieces and nephews, my whole family, knowing things about my mom, learning about my past, the situations, dealing with my parents and everything, my goals, my aspirations. Um, this person I thought was supporting me when I competed in some of my pageants. They were one of the first people that were like, "Look, if this person isn't showing up, I'm coming. I'm going to come and celebrate you." They were there when I got crowned a couple of times. So to experience this, y'all, I'm gonna stop crying. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm good. You shine. Thank you. Jesus love you. He does. I feel bad for you. Oh, don't feel bad for me. It's a lesson learned. I really do understand that this is something that I had to learn because I grew up thinking and really believing that everyone has the best interest for everyone because I was taught that, you know? And even if I had bad feelings for other people, I would get in trouble for that. I would get chastised, even though some of the bad feelings, the inklings that I had, they weren't bad feelings for no reason. It was just discernment. But yeah, I really had to come to that conclusion and see that for myself. Well, I didn't see it for myself. Let me take that back. I didn't see it for myself. This came to the light when my boss came to me, and because they were investigating because of some of the allegations that was said about me because of the patterns that I displayed. My boss said it didn't add up. Okay, and this is one boss that I don't really speak to. I don't really care for. When I say I don't care for, like I don't we haven't had any, close interactions together, but we haven't had any bad feelings. But I noticed like she really didn't, gel well to me because I'm very happy. I'm very, a bubbly person. Um, even though I'm an introvert, y'all, I'm very bubbly, okay? Um and sociable. So, she went and investigated, and she did her due diligence and it didn't add up. And because it didn't add up, she started digging a little bit more and months passed and today they found out what this person was saying about me and the things that I was doing was not true. And to think, y'all, that this person was right under my nose the whole entire time. And every time it sounded so true because they were getting bits and pieces of my life because I'm sharing it with them. I'm breaking bread with this person. I'm fellowshipping with this person. I'm giving them private, intimate, sides, but it wasn't fully showing me what she was saying that I was doing. She would turn it around as if it was negative. Um, so it looked like it was really true. And so, um, yeah, I'm kind of sad. Are you okay? Okay. Yeah, so I'm a little sad, but I am very grateful that um science proves to be true. Your habits dictate your patterns, and your habits dictate your patterns, even to what you will probably do into the future. Um and it makes me very happy because I'm in that field of pattern recognition. If you guys don't know, I go to school for psychology, and it's dealing with pattern recognition. They actually have a software that is designed for that, which I won't say that I'm totally against, but I'm definitely not for it at this moment. And so, but yeah, I'm very grateful for um having that, because if I would have broke my pattern, and if I would have changed because other people were changing towards me, I would be in a different situation by now. I can guarantee you, if I would have changed my patterns or what I usually do, I would be in a different situation, and it would not turn out in the way that it has turned out for me at this time. And so I am grateful. I am truly grateful. Um yeah, so that's one thing I wanted to share. The other thing is that uh I have been getting so many dreams and perceptions, and just people in general. Like, I don't know if it's an energy shift, but to narrow my circle, narrow my space. And I think that was a prime example. Sorry about crying on here a little bit before, but it was just very, I've just getting this news like about 30 minutes ago. So just letting it out is still a little bit emotional, because now I know I can no longer, even if you have inklings about people, you don't want to assume, but once you know something, it's up to you to make that change and make a difference. And so I know that I have to make that change. Okay. um or I will drown in the aftermath if I don't, detach from not only her, but the circles that are associated with that individual. Um, oh yeah, as far as my mom is concerned, you guys, this has been a long process, and it shouldn't be that long, because my mother has a history of the issues that she has faced. This has been continual for not only just a couple of years, for decades, for as long as I've been on this planet, even longer than I've been on this planet. Okay. And um, that kind of hurts too, because I know that she would do better being out and socializing with the public, to a certain extent. However, I know that too much can lead to someone who has the illness that she does have, the mental illness that she does have, can lead to further isolation, and it can have a counterproductive effect on her. And so I have to tread very lightly, although I am for people to have a free life and not to be confined in a lot of spaces. I understand the importance of having confined spaces for certain people. I understand some of the methods that are chosen for our system today. Not to say that I fully agree with it, but I understand it. And so because of that, I have no other choice but to allow the process to go and do my due diligence and keep pursuing the matter the legal way, making sure that I have all my documentation, all my dots in a row. And to be aligned. And so that is that. I'm sorry, you guys. I want to keep a beat, but I want to be as authentic as I possibly can, y'all. Um, without being fictitious, okay? Without being fictitious. So that's what I'm dealing with my mom. She's still in a mental institute. I still send her things. If you guys would still like to donate, thank you to everyone who has contributed to my mom's success, as well as some of the men and women that are in the mental institution that do not have a voice on the outside, that they don't have people that check up on them. Thank you to all of you who have um contributed to the cause, okay? Because it is greatly appreciated. I know I appreciate it, and I know that those people, those individuals appreciate it. Um, I did get some letters from some of the families of some of the patients that were or are in the mental institution that could not afford to get their loved ones some of the necessities, and because we all came as a team and was able to donate items to them in their time of need, they showed a lot of gratitude. So maybe one day I'll start showing you the guys that led those letters, or bringing them up if you guys like. um so yeah. If you guys are just tuning in and you want to contribute, understand that there are some rules and regulations that they can't have due to the stipulations that they are in an institution, such as like thread. Sometimes they can't have hoods with the laces, due to certain. Not everyone is dealing with the same issue, but overall they don't have those. A lot of sharp objects, things like that. So, uh, but yeah, just inbox me. My email is should be on there. Feel free to do that, and thank you to everyone who has contributed. Also, we also try to make sure that the donations that are delivered or given, that we protect the individuals that are receiving what they're receiving, because we don't want to set people back on their process to recovery. We want to heal as many people and show a lot of love and kindness during the times that they're going through. Okay. Mental health is extremely important, and more each day, each day around the world, especially in the country that I live in. We have to reevaluate and reassess and understand the importance of taking care of our mental health each and every day. Not when a crisis comes, not when it's just good times, not when you feel good, every single day. Okay? Um so so that's it. Also, um I think someone sent me an email. You guys send me a lot of emails, even though I don't have a lot of views on my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys come in and send me messages. But I have had a couple of messages with people asking me, how did I get into modeling? How did I get into print modeling? How did I? Hi everyone. Hi everyone on here. Thank you for joining in. How did I start modeling, and how did I keep stay in there for so long? Um And so maybe I'll make a video of that if you guys want to. Just let me know. I'm, for the most part, usually an open book. I'm trying to be a little bit better. But when I say I'm an open book, I want to, I know that my life is not just for myself. And if it can help someone else, then I would definitely do that because I want to help as many people as I can and to let people know that there is hope. There is a silver lining. No matter what is going on, they're gonna always be negative people, but there are always happy people. There are always good people in every form and facet. And I am so I don't want to say gun ho anymore. I am so adamant about this because this is so true. Okay. I don't want to say, there's racism. We have that. Okay. We have that. Okay. Especially in my country. We have that. We have people that are just evil and vile. We have a lot of people who going through mental things. But through it all, there are some amazing, amazing people. And if you would just take the opportunity, I'm not telling you to say, oh no, it's not negative people. But if you take that opportunity to move your energy towards saying that I can do whatever I put my mind to, the resources will come to you. That's what I want to put out there. There are so many people who are like myself, old and young, because we always talk about the younger generation, but it starts with the older generation about understanding the silver lining. Understanding the silver lining. You can be anything that you want to be. It is never too late. And every day is proof of that. Okay. Every day is another opportunity to do that. And so if have, things that you can share, then share. And I'm one of those people. I am one of those people. Okay. Um, you said you love my hair. I don't know if I would say thank you or not thank you because my hair is a mess and my face is a mess right now. But I'm gonna take that as a compliment because I'm gonna think positive energy. So thank you. Um, but and thank you for tuning in. Either way, but you just want to keep that positive energy, okay? If it's something that I can help someone with to further their life, to get them to a better state, why not? There have been so many people that I didn't know, that I did not know from a can of paint, that has helped me, that they knew that they helped me, and I couldn't do anything to repay them. I didn't do anything to get the information. They gave it to me freely, and it helped my life and increased the value of my life. There are also times when people just wanted to share truth and they helped me later on in life or helped me right then, in life, and they didn't even have a clue. And so I want to be a vessel because I want to be used by my creator as a person that helps other people. I always knew that ever since I was younger. A funny story about that. Okay, so when you're younger and you go to school and they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And a lot of people say a doctor, lawyer, this and that. Well, when I got up, I said, I want to be, and they thought I wanted to be a teacher or I wanted to be a lawyer because I always wanted to prove something or, counter. I'm one of those people like if the whole group says this, I'm going to find a reason to say this. And I like the debate, this discussion of debate to finding, and getting to the truth too. But I love the discussion of, analyzing things. I love analyzing and looking at different spectrums, looking at different points of view. And so they thought that I would go and say lawyer or something like that. And I said I wanted to be a helper. And they said, what kind of helper? I said a professional helper. And so if you look at my LinkedIn, uh, if you look at my LinkedIn, you will see that I didn't put, you know, um, the titles that I actually went through during my whole lifespan of work. I put on there what I knew that I was going to be, a professional helper. And that is what my life has been the entire time. The entire time. And the kids were laughing when I said that in kindergarten. My teachers were laughing. I remember my teacher, Miss Butler, was laughing so hard. Like, and they would make this joke. and it would say hamburger helper, Mexican meal. Belle wants to be a helper, a hamburger helper. And they had the little white glove with the little hand. And so, um, yeah, I got teased for that. But um, at that moment, I didn't even understand being teased because it was authentic. I knew what I wanted to be. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I couldn't explain to you all the things that I would do, in my life as an adult, but I always knew that I would be a helper. And I mean they teased me so much. They teased me at that school all the way until I got to like the second grade. I ended up transferring and going like to the move to the west side of the city. If you guys don't know, I grew up in Gary, Indiana, like where Michael Jackson was at. I actually went to the school that lived right behind 2300 Jackson Street. I went there. I went there. So, and I saw Michael Jackson. So y'all seen that movie? Listen, he came to our school. Like that's a whole nother story. But anywho, um, yeah, I knew what I wanted to be. Um, when I was very young, and I was teased the whole time. Not only by the kids, but by the teachers, because I didn't change up when I got older. I didn't change I didn't change what I wanted to be until I got to the 11th grade. Into the 11th grade. So every year when they would ask, "What do you want to be?" you know, I would say I'm going to be a helper, and they say a helper in what? There's a lot of things. I remember when I said that, and in the 8th grade, my science teacher looked and noticed that I knew a lot about plasma and chlorophyll and the stuff about plants. And so, because of that, when we went to like the aquariums and things like that, when we did the mission control, um things when we went off to college for the ambassadors program, things like if you're in honors courses and you're like in the 8th grade, 5th grade, they take you to college because they know that they say that this is your trajectory based off of your scores, based off of what's going on. They try to prep you right then. They prep you very early. And I know in Gary, they prep you extremely early. And I didn't know that we were getting prepped that early. I just thought that was just school. But they definitely do. They definitely do. Um, and so when they have the mission control things, which I loved astrology. I love like um the moons, the satellites. I love the stars. I love the galaxies, the Big Dip. I love that. I love math with the formulations of that. Now, if I had to do math something else other than like chemistry or something, I would not do it. Like it has to have a meaning to me. Why am I doing this math problem? If you tell me it's about constellations or something like that, I love it. Okay, love it. I also love plants just because I grew up around plants. I had to do it. My grandmother taught me how to do it. There were all the other older people and they had plants and they were in a garden club, okay? Like the whole block garden club. Even when you're younger, I always had to do that. So, um and I don't know, some of my relatives are still kind of good at planting, but I'm very good at planting. So, yeah, I had a bully in every grade until 5th grade because I'm homeschooled now. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, at least you were homeschooled. I I went to public school. I could have well, I went to private for a little bit, but I went public school and I literally had to deal with it. And growing up in Gary, Indiana, you have to be tough. That's why I have to laugh when they talk about Michael Jackson all the time. Have y'all heard how they always used to say that that man was soft? If y'all only knew that the his mother used to go to that house even when they moved out. I was in high school, so in high school was like 2000 and something, right? Their whole family used to be out there still cooking chicken. The mom used to fry chicken because she wanted to fry chicken in the house. Like he was really like out there. Like people don't have no idea. Like he really was a male. Like you can't be. I won't say you can't be soft in Gary, but because I am kind of soft. I am kind of soft. I have, soft emotions. However, you're gonna have to know how to defend yourself. When y'all see Joe Jackson going, I don't want to get too much off topic, but when you see Joe Jackson in that first Jackson 5 movie when he was teaching them how to fight because he was getting beat up, listen, that happens for real, okay? That happens for real. People talk about Chicago. Gary, Indiana is so close to Chicago like this, y'all. Like 30-minute drive. I-94. You can take a train. It's going to take an hour. It's going to do a lot of stops, but it's called the South Shore. Okay, if you don't believe me, you can take the Metro. You can take the Greyhound. The Greyhound is the same way. It's going to take an hour, but it's going to be a lot of stops. But just driving is it's 30 minutes, y'all. It's 30 minutes. But anywho, back to the story. Okay, I knew that I was designed to be a helper. I was going to help people. Okay, and understanding what a real helper is, you help yourselves by you get fulfillment by helping others because it helps you to understand more. Okay, because I can be able to tell you um a lot of things that are going on and a lot of things that are happening, but a lot of things for me to self-reflect, I have to go through the process of helping and serving, and then I can reflect it back and then reflect back on my life and understand the things that I, need to work on and things that way. That's how I um view the world. That's how I internalize and how I work and navigate my life through the world. Okay. All right. And when I don't do this, a lot of emotions bottle up. I don't get understanding. I become very recluse. It's just a lot of chaos. And people don't understand that from a giver. Some people think that people who are givers are usually pushovers, and some are, but not all. Not all. Or they're not smart, or they just want attention. And when you're younger, you're gonna want some kind because you get neglected when you are a helper. You to a certain extent. Once you start learning where you need to go, you get a little bit better, you know. And I'm still navigating this, because you guys are seeing what's going on, and this is not gonna stop. There are gonna always be people that are like the individual that I explained earlier in this recording, but it does determine how do I go about it. Do I crawl in the bed and cry? Because I would cry, okay? And I'm probably still going to cry when I get older because I am a sensitive person. I am a gentle person. I can be very rough, but emotionally, I'm very empathetic. I am very empathetic, okay? I'm the person that you would probably laugh at because I'm going to cry if you ever got chastised or you ever got into an argument with someone. I'm the first person that's going to apologize even when I know I was right. Okay? Because and not because I don't like confrontation. I don't like confrontation that can damage you more than what was trying to be said, or that can harm you more than the message. And so if I need to back down, I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. um I can be, you know a I can be called a weak person. you know that's okay. I've been called everything underneath the sun. I promise you it would not that part wouldn't affect me. And even if it did, I know, I know deep down inside that once it did and I cried and I got it all out, I would be able to navigate and move around it. Okay. And so now, and so now I have learned to not put so much emphasis on it because the higher you go, the more of this you see, the more of this comes your way. And I think that was the main part of me not even pushing so hard and just tiptoeing into my calling and not leaning so hard into it even before, just because of that, because I've witnessed that. Anytime you're trying to do something that is productive, that is feeding your soul, and that is helping others to achieve better for themselves, not even go to their heights, just achieving better for themselves to go to the next level, or to tap into what they have, you're going to come across people who are like that, y'all. So I'm sorry, y'all. It's just this lighting is really doing something. Okay. Um this lighting is really doing something. And so let's see. Yeah, let me see. I think I gotta go to PBS in a minute. I think I gotta go to PBS today. And you guys, speaking of PBS, I don't want to get too much off of the subject, but I did want to talk about some of the things that are going on. Now, I know in the States we have a show called PBS. This is the public broadcast system. This public broadcast system brings so much education to individuals and people in all walks of life across the globe. It's not just, the next door neighbor, or the people in the same city, or the people in the same state, or the country. This is global. Not only that, I've seen PBS because I thought PBS was only in the States. I worked for PBS, and I've seen PBS when I go to Africa. When I go and do fashion shows in Africa, I see little kids watching Sesame Street. I see little kids watching Elmo. I see little kids watching all these things, Arthur, and all these things. They're translated in different languages, and they're learning. They're learning how to navigate life, how to deal with difficult situations, how to deal with, everyday things, counting change, learning your ABCs, how to deal with conflict resolution, how to deal with things of the body, how to deal with safe spaces, and we have come to um a place where they want to get rid of they want to get rid of shows that bring joy and laughter to people, and education. Okay, joy and laughter and education, and we know that it has been studied, okay, that you learn more when you are happy. You learn more through laughter, through relaxation, through unconscious conditioning than through conscious conditioning. Okay, you learned more. Okay, that's why, if you're doing anything with RBT or behavior analysis, they're doing things that to affect the subconscious, s- to help you build strength and to go. It's the things that we do consciously. We do things consciously to reinforce, but it's done subconsciously. Even when you watch a regular television show, it's not the things that you see consciously, it's the things that you learn subconsciously. And so those shows through PBS, they teach a lot of things to our youth. A lot of things that I had to learn, that I didn't get to learn, especially thinking about your situation being homeschooled. If, PBS could help you learn about working through different situations, having a culture shock, different ethnicities, different cultures, learning those things. Learning how to ways to cope and to battle anxiety when you're in situations that you're not familiar with. And so they want to take those programs away, y'all. Like, and this has been going on for a little bit. Um, and I don't want to sway your way left or right. I just want you guys to understand and to be more intentional in your life and what you are doing from now on. We no longer have that time to be unintentional with anything. I was talking about the things that I was affected with earlier today with someone, doing something that really affected me and was trying to take away from me. But I understand the power of intention. The power of being intentional matters, okay? It really, 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 okay. It really matters. So, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for the subscribe. Um, but it matters. So I beg to differ. I ask you, what are you doing? What are you intentionally doing to make a difference in the world that you are in? Not my world, in the world that you live in. Okay? What do you do in your everyday life that makes an impact to the goals that you want to play out in this realm? Okay? How do you show up every single day? Okay? Because it's not the big things, it's the little things. It's the little things, you know? Sometimes that is just getting out of the bed. Okay? And I've been there, okay? Sometimes it's just getting out of bed. Sometimes it's winning championships. Sometimes it's winning a crown. Sometimes sometimes it's walking around a block. Sometimes it's studying a little bit harder to get that C to go to a B, or even that C to go to a B minus, okay, or a C plus, because I've been there too. Uh, so what are you doing? Sometimes it's being okay with traveling this world alone without your loved one. Okay, I don't know what it is for you. But what are you doing? You have to ask yourself that. And not just ask yourself today. I ask myself this every single day. What are you doing to be the change that you want to see? Okay? What are you doing in your everyday life that is going towards those goals? Okay? And if you can say nothing, understand that you're listening to me now and you have that opportunity, and this opportunity is brought to you so that you can make a choice to choose to move in that direction. For me, at this moment, it is sharing my life with you guys. And if you see my hands, yes, it is a different color. Okay, y'all. I have been tanning. That might be another situation, but y'all, I have been tanning to try to make sure that my skin color is the even color all around, because it has been winter, spring, summer, fall. If you guys have been in the Midwest, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If I was like West Coast right now, I would be an even tone because I would have skin out so that it would show, and I would have to do less tanning. But at this time, that is not the case. So I have to do a lot of balancing right now. So yeah, you see all that? Yeah. This is real life for me. This is rough. This is real life. What day they say this is real life. This is rough. But anyhow, anyhow, um, yeah. What are you doing? My to do was getting up and showing my face on this camera, which was a lot because I love to hide. I love to hide. I love to hide. Okay. I am bubbly, but I love to hide. You have no idea how I love to peekaboo. I do not see you. Okay. All right. My family will tell you. Okay. I will hide for months. I will hide for years. Okay. For years. All right. Um, but I knew I had a purpose. So I came on here. So yeah. Hopefully this has helped you to make a change, and if not, give you some inspiration to get up and get moving. Hopefully it got you some laughter and inspired you to do a little bit better than what you were doing yesterday, and understand that you actually are because you're listening to me. So I'm going to get off of here. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, y'all. Bye.